Well, hello there, everyone. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from Miter McLean. And I'm here today to guide you through your awesome, amazing Tuesday mind body yoga practice where we're just going to take some total body stretches. You have just about 3 minutes before class gets started. We're going to start in sukhasana in easy pose today, so find a comfortable seated position for yourself. Grab some water before class gets started. Think about taking a couple sips of water. If you have an opportunity to turn on music, I encourage you to find something relaxing. One of my favorites is the ambient relaxation playlist on Spotify. It's just some gentle sounds that will help you melt into your mat today. All right, so feel free to get any extra stretches that feel right for your body today. And we'll get started in sukhasana in just about 2 minutes. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna bribe the birdie. Hi, Fred. Would you like some peanuts so that you can be a silent member of our yoga community today? Oh my God, you're being very mean. That was very mean. That was very nasty, Fred. Just gonna, oh, we lost it. Well, one less for you, eh, boo? Okay, so we're not gonna have any specific water breaks during class today, but please feel free to have your water nearby. Take sips whenever you need to. If you feel like you need to take an extra break, lay down in savasana, come into child's pose, enjoy a couple extra cat-cows, whatever feels good for you. This is your practice. I'm just here to help guide you, and I'm so thankful that you made this time for yourself today. Okay, making my way to the floor. Whew. My Fitbit is not telling me the accurate time. I don't know what to do about that yet. It's about 30 minutes off, but you know what? Time's just a concept anyway, right? Okay. I do believe it is 12:15, so welcome to your mind-body practice today. For those who are just joining, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager for Miter McLean. We're gonna start off right here, down on the floor in easy pose. So you're coming into some sort of a comfortable seated position, whatever works for you. I find it really comfortable to bring everything super close in towards me. However, if you're feeling a little bit tighter, you can always have one leg in front of the other. You can even kick those legs out nice and wide. If this is still a little bit too much on your hamstrings, or if you're sitting here cross-legged and your knees are coming all the way up to your chest, think about finding a prop, either a block or a rolled up towel, to help you find a little bit more openness and relaxation and an opportunity for those knees to slope down towards the floor. And here's where we're gonna get started. So take your time, start to slow your breath down. Feel welcome to close your eyes and just breathe and be here in this moment. Taking some nice, long, slow, deep inhales in through your nose. Take a moment at the top with your lungs full, just being aware of that sensation, and then slower than you inhaled, a nice slow exhale, either through your nose or mouth, and let's continue that focused breath. And the sound of Fred eating peanuts. Feel free to take in the sounds around you. If you had an opportunity to put on some relaxing music, to just maybe even channel your breath and the music together. Just taking in whatever sounds that you might hear, just starting to quiet your mind and quiet your body. Relax your breath. Do a little scan of your body from head to toe. Just notice any points where you might be holding or harboring any tension, and use that inhale once again to just be aware of the sensations that you have, and use your exhale to do your best to let it go. If you want to set an intention for today's class, now is a beautiful time to do so. Maybe your intention is someone or something that you want to share your energy with, and maybe you're sending a little extra love to yourself. My personal mantra and intention lately has been that I love myself, I love my body the way it is right now, and I'm so thankful for everything that it does, and I love to take the time during these practices, during these quiet moments, to focus back in on that. You might think that your intention sounds a little hoo-ha-y to begin with, but the more that you tell yourself something, whether it be positive or negative thought, the more that you're going to believe it. So why not focus in on those positive thoughts while we can? Work to find a little length through the crown of your head. Start to find some engagement of that abdominal core, drawing your belly button back towards your spine. And let's start to get that upper body in on our stretches. So get ready to inhale. We're going to bring those arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, take your time, relax and release your arms down to your side. Let's do 3 more just like that. Inhale, stretch through your fingers to the walls at the side and then the ceiling above you, thumbs towards the back of the room. Exhale. Take your time, slowly relax and release it down. 2 more. Inhale. Big breaths all the way down to the bottom of your diaphragm. Exhale. Slowly, gently relax it out. 1 more time. Full range of motion. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's take a moment and bring our fingers up to our shoulders. We're going to get some circles with those shoulders next. So starting off really slow, I want you to stretch your elbows forward and towards each other. Find a little bit of rounding in your back, similar to what you would do if we were in cat. Then we're going to inhale, start to open up your chest. Keep that belly pulled in tight as you stretch your elbows up towards the ceiling. Begin your exhale as your elbows start to stretch back behind you, squeezing shoulder blades together. And then finish out your breath with your elbows down towards the floor. Start again, move at your own pace. So inhale as elbows come together and up, and exhale as they go back and down. Feel free to get that back as involved as you want to, maybe hinging a little bit forward at the hips, and then bringing your rib cage closer to those hips. 2 more times in this direction. Still keeping things slow within that breath. Last time, inhale up, exhale down. Now we're going to change direction. So starting off really slow, we're going to inhale to the back and up, and exhale forward and down. Inhale back and up, exhale forward and down. Just a couple more. Really lifting, finding that length, making sure that you're working within your breath. Last one, inhale up. Let's end with this exhale forward. So squeezing your elbows towards each other, really finding that big rounding in your back. You might even want to gently rock a little bit side to side with that belly pulled in nice and tight and controlled. Then 1 more time, let's inhale, stretch up towards the ceiling. And then 1 arm at a time, we're going to find some big stretches. So keep stretching your right hand up towards the ceiling and take that left elbow, stretch it down. You can even turn your chin in the direction of that left elbow. And then inhale back up, exhale, pull it down. Like you're going to be pulling a boat, but you're sending it right up towards the ceiling. Still working with that breath. 1 more time each side. Both hands stretch up overhead. Take your time, gently relax and release them down by your sides. You can even bring them into your lap, whatever feels good for you. I like to draw my hands a little bit closer towards my hips to encourage that chest to stay open, to stay nice and lifted. And next we're gonna work into our necks just a little bit. So use your big inhale to find some length and your exhale to gently bring your chin down towards your chest. We're gonna keep the motion in the front plane. So on your next inhale, gently bring your ear to your right shoulder. And as you exhale, chin back down to chest. Inhale, ear to left shoulder. If you feel any intense pain or discomfort, or like you just need a little bit of an extra stretch somewhere, feel free to hang out for an extra moment, just catching that breath. Maybe even bringing your fingertips to your tense spots to give it a little extra time. A little extra attention. You know I love me a free massage. And go ahead, keep going. If it feels good, if you want to increase the range of motion and start to bring that towards the back of your head, go for it. Still just warming up the body right here. We're going to come back to these neck stretches in just a moment. Next time your chin comes down to your chest, let's leave it there. And then slowly, gently, stack yourself back up. Awesome, I'm gonna release myself from this block that's underneath of me just to be as comfortable as possible, a little bit more grounding with the earth, but if you still need to stay somewhat lifted on a prop, go for it. We're gonna find a couple more spine twists right here. So if you want, you can just twist to the side. I'm gonna use my arms to help me find that twist though. So inhaling, arms up overhead, turning to the right side. My left hand comes behind me. Sorry, right hand comes behind me and left hand comes to the front. Inhale back up to center, find some big length, and then exhale to the opposite side. We're not going for a super deep twist right now. We're just starting to warm up that side body a little bit more. So turn your head as much as feels comfortable for you today. No stress, no pressure. Just moving with that breath. One more time each side. And then bring those arms up overhead. We're gonna go for a little side body reach this time. So right hand comes down towards the floor. Stretch that left arm up. Maybe you can bring your forearm down to the ground. And then inhale back to center, just finding as much as a side body reach. Other side, as feels good for you. Once again, option to just kind of hang out and hold within your side body stretch. I want you to make sure that you evenly stretch both sides. So if you give a little extra attention to one side, make sure that you give it to the other as well. Still working with that breath, inhaling to stretch up towards the ceiling and exhaling into your stretch. We'll find one more time on each side. And then we'll come back into a little bit more of a static stretch of those necks. Yay, relax both hands down to the floor. Come back into sukhasana, into just your easy seated position. And when you're ready, go ahead, drop your ear over to your right shoulder. If this is enough of a stretch for you, you can hang out right here. If you want to feel a little bit more of the stretch, bring your left hand fingertips down towards the floor and walk them away from you. You can even press through that hand palm, get a little bit more of your tricep involved. And if you still need more of a stretch, inhale that right arm up towards the ceiling, bend at the elbow, bring those fingertips close behind your ear. You can even stretch that right elbow back behind you, gauging a little bit of that upper back, that side oblique, that arm. Bring a smile to your face. Take one more big inhale. And lift yourself up, release your head from your arm, relax that hand down towards the floor. And let's go ahead, come to the other side, starting off nice and easy, just bringing our ear towards our shoulder, evaluating how our body feels and recognizing that every day is different and each side of our body is different. So honoring what your body can bring to today's practice. If you want more of a stretch, walking your right hand fingertips away, you can keep them grounded on the floor or bring that stretch a little bit more into your upper arm by pressing through your hand pop, flexing those fingers back towards your face. Even more of a stretch if you inhale your left arm up towards the ceiling, and exhale, bend at the elbow. Fingertips come close by the top of your ear, allowing that elbow to hang heavy towards the floor or even towards the wall behind you to engage a little bit more of the upper back. We'll take 2 more big breaths here. Keep them nice and slow. Keep focusing on that exhale being a little bit longer than your inhale. And then get ready to change. So inhale, gently release your hand from your head, stretch it up, lift your head, and exhale. Relax those arms down to the floor. Let's go ahead and take a nice little cross-legged forward fold. If your back is hurting, I want you to really focus on finding a nice little forward hinge here. So you might even want to walk your glutes gently back behind you, and you can keep your hands right here on the floor in front of you, as opposed to finding a lot of rounding and a lack of support and engagement in that back. So pull that belly in, hinge forward, walk yourself forward as much as you can. However your body is feeling today, make sure that those glutes stay down on the floor. You can walk your hands even more forward. As you get down, it's okay to bring some rounding into your back while you're already somewhat supporting that belly towards those thighs. You can allow your head to hang heavy down towards the floor, and even press into your hands to find a little extra engagement through that back. Find what feels good, the range of motion that works for you. And then slowly, gently, let's walk our hands all the way over to the right side. You can even press your left hand onto your top of your right. Make sure that that left glute stays on the floor. Big stretch through the left side of the body. You can even lift that left shoulder up. Maybe turn towards it. Big slow breaths. Bring that chin back towards your chest. Walk your hands gently through center and all the way over to the other side. Be kind to your body. Remember, each side of our body is different, so just finding the stretch that feels right, that works for you, while keeping that opposite glute on the floor. Option to lift that front shoulder just a little bit, finding a little bit of rotation, a twist through your spine. And change. Go ahead and walk yourself back through center, and let's go ahead and kick both legs out. Ooh, ooh, feeling it. Kick both legs out cornerwise, and we'll come into dragonfly for just a moment. So here I want you to really flex your toes back towards your face. Even think about pressing the back of your thighs, your hamstrings into the floor. And again, you can take this forward hinge at your hips to keep your lower back feeling good. We're gonna stay lifted in this dragonfly, really focusing on flexing your toes back towards your face and also creating some external rotation of the feet. So instead of toes coming down towards the front, I want you to really focus on stretching, rotating through your pinky toes, and you'll feel a little bit more in that inner thigh as well. Keep relaxing and releasing your shoulders away from your ears. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So find a spot to focus your eyes, relax your mind, come back to your breath, and just be here right now. Great. Go ahead, inhale both arms up overhead. We're going to exhale and bring our right hand fingertips below, reaching towards that left thigh, and then reach through your left hand fingertips towards your right foot. Instead of dropping that chest towards the floor, once again, focusing on opening up that chest as if you're pressing your back to the wall behind you. Reach through those fingers. Take one more big inhale, and on your exhale, gently lift yourself up, and let's switch to the opposite side. So starting off nice and slow to begin with, really working to just find that reach, to still find that external rotation of your feet, to flex those toes back towards your face, engaging those legs. There's a lot happening in our lower bodies right now. And then I'm still asking you to open up that top right shoulder towards the wall behind you. And then let's change. This time just working with your breath. So inhale, lift. Exhale, find a little bit of a stretch, maybe not going quite as deep. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stretch. One more time each side. Inhale, lift, open up that chest. Exhale, stretch. Inhale, open. Exhale, stretch. Great work. Let's take a moment and come into caterpillar. Well, actually, we'll start with staff pose. So flex those toes back towards your face, bring your legs together, and as you notice, I walked my glutes back behind me to find that forward hinge of my hips. So instead of just stretching my legs out in front of me and maybe feeling a little uncomfortable in that upper back, walking those glutes back to bring your belly more towards your thighs to find that flat back. Now again, if you are very tight in the back of your legs, you can either sit back up on your block for this one or take a slight bend in your knees and press those heels into the floor so you can support your belly on your thighs. If it feels good, if your lower back is feeling good, you can walk yourself out a little bit more. And here we are in a caterpillar. You're gonna find some big stretches for the lower half right now. A number of different forward folds, staying down on the floor to begin with for class. All right, take your time, slowly, gently lift yourself up. Next, I want you to cross your right leg over your left. Pull that belly in, find that hinge from your hips, and gently bring yourself forward. You might not be able to come forward quite as much. Start flexing your toes back to your face. If it feels good and you want even more of a stretch on the calf, if you can stack your heel on top of your toes and really flex, oh my, flex those right toes back to your face. Try not to collapse in this chest right here, so still staying lifted for 3, 2, 1, and change. Opposite side. So either crossing and taking that forward hinge, or stacking your heel on top of the toe, flexing that upper leg back towards your face and still finding that forward hinge. I have warmed you up right now for a little bit of ab work that we're going to do. Just thinking towards everyone's 2021 resolutions. You can still sign up for a Rock Your Resolution Challenge, which starts on January 18th. Maybe your resolution is to get a little bit more flexible. Maybe you love yoga and you want to work on some inversions. So this next one is a great way to build up your ab strength so that you will be able to work on inversions, which don't worry, we're not doing today because I'm just working on it too. All right, so we're going to take a hinge forward once again, and you're going to place your fingertips here on the floor. One leg at a time, we're just going to squeeze and lift that heel off of the floor. Maybe it barely comes up. Maybe you're just making an intention to really engage your core to find that lift. We're going to go for 5 on each leg. I'm being very nice. So press those fingers into the floor. Your back is engaged and lifted. Your belly is pulled in tight. Lift. Oh my gosh. I got such a Charlie horse. Okay, 4 more. 4. See if you can keep that forward hinge. 3. If not, you might need to lift yourself up. It's a little bit easier. 1 more on that right side. Let's switch to the left. So squeeze those shoulder blades together. Back is still engaged. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good news, bad news. We're going to do the same thing, but this time with those legs out nice and wide. So you can bring a little weight forward. I want you to still keep that belly in tight and chest lifted. This one is a little bit harder. I'm not going to lie to you. So let's start off with that left leg. Do your best not to lean all the way over to the right. We've got 5. Oh my gosh. 4. Belly tight. 3, 2, 1. Can you control on the way down? 5 on the opposite side. We're going to stretch that out in just a second, I promise. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you lost me there. Got a little bit too tight in my legs. Let's go ahead and lay down for a second. We're going to come into reclined bound angle. So you might need to press into the edges of the feet. Oh my gosh, open those knees nice and wide. If you feel like your hips are super tight and that your knees are nowhere near the floor, feel free to grab hold of your prop. We're just gonna take a couple breaths right here in our reclined bound angle. And then we're just gonna change up our leg stretches a little bit. So right now, find that spot to focus your eyes on the ceiling or close your eyes. Just come back to your slow, relaxed breath. If you're still feeling any cramping or tension in your legs, inhale in the awareness and exhale out any expectation. Really think about using your breath to help to break apart the tense spots that you're feeling so that you feel a little more ease. Awesome. Go ahead, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Windshield wipe your knees gently from right to left. Remove the props if you had them by your side. We're going to take a moment and come into a nice big spine twist. So stretch your arms out to the side and let's allow our knees to fall heavy over to the right side of the body. If it feels good for you, you can turn your chin over to that left shoulder. I want you to relax your upper body as much as possible into the floor. Back to your breath. Back to a little bit of stillness right here. If you're not feeling enough of a stretch, you can take that top leg and draw that bent knee up towards your extended hand palm and then stretch through your lower leg, extend it out below you to feel more of a twist in your spine. 2 more relaxed and slow breaths right here. Great. If you separated your legs, go ahead, bring those legs back together. Take your time, gently roll over onto your back, and then we'll roll to the other side. Just doing the best you can, taking your time with your body. It might be easy for some people to keep both shoulders on the floor, and it might be very hard for others. That's just going to depend on your muscle structure. If this is enough of a twist for you, enjoy it, and if you want a little bit more, draw that top knee up towards your extended hand palm and stretch through your lower leg. Just keep breathing. Staying focused right now on the stretch that you're created and with your breath. If other thoughts are starting to come to your head, you can acknowledge them and then remind them, hey, I took this time out for myself today. This is my yoga practice and I will get back to you later. All right, go ahead, bring those knees back together. Let's roll over onto our backs and draw both of your knees in towards your chest. Squeeze those knees in towards each other for a little knees to chest pose. I want you to use your exhale, relax those shoulders down towards the floor. Even tucking your chin a little bit more in towards your chest to get as much of your neck and back vertebrae flat on the mat as possible. And from here, we'll come into wind removing pose. So this is the one posture where it's going to look like I'm doing the opposite, because you always want to make sure that when you do wind removing pose that you engage your right side first. So extend your left leg out and keep holding onto your right leg about 2 inches below the knee. You can interlace all 10 fingers and see if you can interlace all the way up towards the webbing to enjoy a nice little anti-arthritic grip. But we don't want to have knuckles together, so fingers are flat on your shin. Pull it all the way out, avoid your rib cage, and then back up towards your shoulder. If your left shoulder came all the way off of the mat, can you use your next exhale to bring a little bit more of your shoulder towards the mat and begin to pull. Pull your knee in towards your shoulder so that your belly is gently pressing into your thigh, and then also press your shin into your hands' palms so that your biceps have to work extra hard to keep your leg right where it is. Your lower back is pressed down to the floor. If you can't feel your left calf muscle on the mat, flex your toes back towards your face. You're pulling and you're pressing. And if you're lucky, you might feel that pinching sensation in your lower right abdomen. That's your ascending colon. Take one more big inhale, and on your exhale, slowly, gently release with intention. Bring your heels together for just a moment. Realign your body. Keep your right leg where it is and draw that left leg up. This time, interlace all 10 fingers up to the webbing 2 inches below the knee. Pull it out away from your rib cage and then back up to your shoulder, and then roll your right shoulder down towards the mat. You can tuck your chin towards your chest here to get more of the back of your head on the mat, and flex your toes back to your face of your right foot to make sure that calf muscle's on the floor. Now come back to your belly. Your stomach is sucked in. Your lower back is glued down towards the mat. You begin to pull on your shin while also pressing into your hands palms. Your biceps might even be trembling. This time you will be lucky if you feel a pinching compression sensation in the lower left abdomen, your descending colon. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, slowly, gently release. We're going to draw both legs in at the same time. Once again, knees coming in towards each other. Keep your feet relaxed side by side. Can you get an even tighter grip? Maybe you can grab hold of the opposite hand or an opposite finger. If that feels too much for you, you can just keep one hand on top of each shin and once again pull. Start to stretch your elbows down towards your hips, stretching your shoulders away from your ears, pressing the little tailbone all the way from the spine, the top of your head, down to your coccyx, onto the mat. Eventually in the future, our total backs will be flat on the mat. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, slowly, gently release. Let's just take a moment right here in Savasana. Awesome. We'll do a couple more stretches on that lower half, and then we'll get back to the upper body. And then, sadly, we'll probably be out of time. So go ahead, draw both of your legs up once more. And let's go for a little bit of thread the needle, coming back to some big stretches throughout the hip flexors and our quads and our glutes. So go ahead and send your right leg up towards the ceiling and make some circles with your ankles, maybe some crunching and some opening with your toes. Change direction of those circles. And then cross your right leg over your left. Make sure there's still some room to make some circles with your ankle. You're not jamming that ankle bone against your thigh. And then slowly begin to stretch your knee away from you towards the edge of the mat. Might even want to bring your hand to your hip flexor and just kind of pet it. Meow. It's your delightful little yoga cat. You're just using your hand warmth to help warm you up, to find a little bit of an extra stretch. And you can stay right here if this feels good for you, if this is the stretch you would like to keep. I feel this big time a little bit through my right side of the body into the hip. But if you want more of a stretch on the back of your legs into your glutes, go ahead, draw that left leg up. And you can just let gravity do the work if you need to. Or you can interlace your fingers through your hands and grab your other set of fingers behind your thigh. Oh my gosh, forgetting words. If that seems really impossible and you brought your strap with you, you can always use your strap. You can even bring your hands on top of your thigh. I want you to just breathe through this stretch. Find whatever relaxation you can for that upper body. Take one more deep inhale. And on our exhale, slowly, gently relax and release. Inhale your right leg back up towards the ceiling once more. Make a couple circles in each direction. And then relax it back down towards the floor. Let's take our left leg and inhale that up towards the ceiling. Make some circles in one direction. Open and close those toes. And then in the opposite. And when you're ready, crossing your left leg over your right and starting to stretch that knee away from you. So starting with your right foot ground on the floor. Remember, you can use your hand to just help to warm up, to relax, to massage that hip flexor, just depending on how tight you're feeling today. You can stay right here with the stretch mainly focused on the front, a little bit of the side of the left body. If you want to bring it to the back of the leg, drawing that right leg up.
Option to let gravity do the work, or to thread the needle, or to just hold on top of the knee. Find as much relaxation in your upper body and shoulders as you possibly can, but keep stretching this left leg away from you towards the end of your mat. Take 2 more breaths right here. And then change. Release your right foot back down towards the floor. Inhale that left leg up towards the ceiling. Once again, making some circles in one direction and then the other direction. Both legs come down towards the floor. Let's roll over onto our side. We'll take a moment right here just in a little fetal position. So knees bent, your head is relaxed on your arms, just coming back to your breath. And then let's roll over and come on into tabletop. Yay, tabletop. All right, so get your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders and spread your fingertips out nice and wide like they're a starfish. Think about getting either your middle finger or your pointer finger in line with the side of your mat. So it's parallel, just so your hands are nice and straight and your hips are stacked on top of the knees the best that you can. We'll do a little bit of cat-cow here. So pressing into those hands, palms, looking towards your knees. Take a full cycle of breath, both your inhale and exhale up here. And then whichever feels best for you to move on. We're gonna switch. Belly comes down towards the floor, stretching through your glutes, spreading your thighs, bringing your chin, nose, eyes forward and up, really pushing into those hands, palms. 1 full cycle of breath right here. And then feel free to move at your own pace, maybe inhaling into one position and exhaling into another. You can shake your tail a little bit right and left and right. Ah, feels so good. Let's take a big stretch of those shoulders. We'll do a thread the needle for our upper body as well. So keep your left hand down on the mat. Keep those knees grounded. Keep your belly pulled in. And inhale your right hands all the way up to the ceiling. Allow your eyes to follow that hand. We're going to exhale and bring it down underneath, threading the needle, palm facing up. Shift your weight gently towards the right as you bring your temple to the floor. Now you can get whichever kind of stretch you want to feel here today. I'm going to give you another option to find that big stretch in your left shoulder. You can either walk your left hand forward for a little bit more of a passive stretch. This one can help you even come a little bit more into child's pose. So a little stretch on the right glutes, or with your left hand underneath, we're going to stretch it up towards the ceiling, bend at the elbows, bring it towards our back, and then just work to roll a little bit more towards that right shoulder, coming into a bit more of a spine twist. So your option, if you want to get that little bit of a spine twist, squeezing the shoulder blades together engagement, or if you want more a little bit of a stretch, you can have that hand forward. We're going to take 2 more breaths right here. And then use your inhale, send that arm back up towards the ceiling, bring it down underneath of your shoulder, really ground your hand into the floor as you press into it, straighten your left arm, inhale your right arm out and up, look up towards it, and exhale it down towards the floor. Ground that hand on the floor, spread those fingers wide, line up either your middle or your ring finger with the edge of the mat, and then inhale that left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle, shift the weight gently over towards your left as you bring that temple and your ear closer towards the mat. You can always keep your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders and just focus on a gentle supported twist of the spine. Or walk that hand forward, sending your hips a little closer towards your heels, more of a total upper body back stretch. Or walking that hand in, sending it up towards the ceiling, bending at the elbow, finding a little bit more of a stretch in the chest and shoulders. Any of those are amazing. You're here and that's what matters. Just doing the best that you can. Take 2 more breaths right here. hands behind your back, inhale it up towards the ceiling. If you walked it forward, bring it back underneath of your shoulders. Press into that hand palm, feel your back engage, and then straighten that supporting arm. Inhale up towards the ceiling. Exhale, release your hands down to the floor. Let's go ahead, send our hips back towards our heels. Take a moment in child's pose. Your choice if you would like to do an open or closed legs child's pose. Go ahead and walk those hands nice and forward. I'm going to take a moment to extra tuck my shirt into my pants. Just tuck in your t-shirt into your yoga pants is the coolest word. All right, walking those hands out as far as feels comfortable for you. If that doesn't feel comfortable, remember you can take a generous bend at the elbows and bring your hands closer by your shoulders. If you're feeling a lot of tightness in your triceps, keep those arms extended. Bring your elbows to the floor. Bring your hands palms together in prayer, and then stretch those prayer hands towards your spine. So fingers pointing down towards your back body and stretching through your elbows towards the top of the mat, applying a little bit of pressure of your elbows into the floor will create a big stretch, particularly through your triceps, a little bit into your chest. Take a couple more breaths right here. Go ahead, extend those hands back out. If you walk them in, we're going to go ahead and pull ourselves all the way forward. Coming into Sphinx pose or seal, your choice. If you want to do seal, those arms are straight. It's a little bit more intense. If you want to do Sphinx, you're going to bring those elbows to the floor underneath of your shoulders. A little bit more of a passive stretch. You're working to press that belly button down towards the floor to feel a big stretch in that lower back. Oh, feels so amazing. Go ahead, take one more big inhale. On your exhale, bring those hands, palms underneath of your chest. Tuck your toes under. We're going to press ourselves up to plank. Coming towards the end of our practice here. I want to give you all plenty of time to enjoy a sukhasana. Let's take a quick down dog. So sending those hips up towards the ceiling. You can walk your legs in a little bit closer. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, bringing your belly towards your thighs. And then even walking the dog, so pedaling one heel and then the other. Maybe pressing all the way up onto your toes and then releasing yourself back down. Let's get a moment with a little bit of three-legged dog. So keeping your chest squared down towards the mat, keep your left foot on the floor. Inhale that right leg up towards the ceiling. Make a couple circles in one direction, in the opposite direction. Go ahead, release that foot down towards the floor. And then other side, inhale up towards the ceiling. Make some circles in one direction. Make some circles in the opposite direction. Release those toes down to the floor. We're going to walk our hands up to our feet or our feet towards our hands and take a moment here in dangle. Feel free to bend those knees as much as you need to, especially if you're feeling really tight. If it's still challenging for you to reach the floor, you can grab hold of your opposite elbow. Allow that elbow to hang heavier down towards the floor. And if things are feeling good, you can work to straighten your leg, but keep your belly towards the thighs so you're supported in your stretch. All right, one more opportunity. If you have the desire to work towards some inversions, we're going to do that same little lifted leg kick. Starting with your hands right in front of your toes, shift the weight over into your left leg and just gently kick the back of your wrist with your right. And then opposite side, kick, lift. I promise you, if you practice even just 5 of these little kicks every day, next week it's going to seem so much easier. One more on each side. And then come back into your dangle, so allow that head to relax down towards the floor. Bend one knee and then the other. Last time to just shake it out, shake your head yes, no, left, right. We stood up. We're amazing. And now we're going to come back down towards the floor. Turn around and lay down. It's time for Savasana. I know, it was way too fast, but the great news is that we have plenty of time to do yoga again tomorrow, so I hope that you'll join me for tomorrow's yin class. Reminder that right now Savasana is also a posture, so doing your best to find stillness right here, right now. If you've had your eyes open for the whole class, now's a beautiful time to close your eyes, come back to your breath, and just allow your practice to sink in, to be supported by your mat, to feel thankful for whatever it is that your body could do today. And a reminder that it's just a yoga practice. It's not a yoga perfect. Some days might feel amazing and some days might feel really hard. But whatever it was that you were able to bring to the mat today is whatever you were meant to bring to the mat today. And your best is always enough, no matter what it looks like. Even if you spent this whole class just laying down in Savasana, maybe you did your own thing half the time, maybe you took a couple extra child's poses. If you were here, if you were intentionally present, even if you didn't move a single muscle and you just listened, that is enough. Please make sure that you take care of yourself and stay hydrated. Take the time to drink some water after this class. If you even want to take a quick sip right now and come back into your Savasana, you know what, we'll take a sip together when we sit up. L'chaim. So once again, work to slow down your breath. Do a scan of your body from head to toe. Do you still have any tense spots? It's okay if you do. It's normal. Do you feel different than when class started? Do you feel physically or mentally lighter? I hope so. As always, I encourage you to stay down here in this final Savasana for however long honors your body today. The longer, the better. However, if you, like me, have other things to do and see, let's take our time and slowly, gently sit ourselves up with intention. You can keep your eyes closed. Let's grab a sip of water real fast. As we come into a seated position of our choice. Great. Go ahead, bring your hands palms together at the center of your chest. Tuck your chin to your chest and take a moment to honor yourself, to really feel that pride for making this time. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that I've said or we did today, please reach out. Once again, my name is Jessica, the Health Fitness Program Manager in McLean. I hope to see you all again soon. In the meantime, as always, please continue to fill your personal cup so that you can share your amazingness with others. Think good thoughts. Speak good words. Do good deeds and eat good foods to nourish yourself from the inside out. Go ahead, bring your thumb up to your drishti, your third eye, right between those eyebrows, and stretch your elbows up towards the ceiling as you look up towards the ceiling. And know that the light within me sees the light within you. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Yay. Thanks for coming, y'all.